Dzień dobry, witam bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym epizodzie Zagrajmy w Disco Elysium. Witam, o zdróweczko was pytam. Będziemy sobie dzisiaj ogrywać dalej Disco Elysium i rozmawiać chyba z panem, ewrą, jak się zdaje. Mr. Businessman.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Czy to ty stoisz na czele pracowników portowych?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Dubois. Mam na nazwisko Dubois. Dubois. Nazywam się Dubois.
I'm 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗏, head of the 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Usiądź.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Zachowaj powagę.
So tell me, how can the head of the 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 union help a representative of the Revachol citizens' militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Proszę go zachować. Nie trzeba.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
Nie martwię się. Mam to pod kontrolą.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right.
Harry Dubois, tak się nazywamy.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Grozi mi.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Spróbujmy.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you?
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What Is he trying to pull?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Właściwie to krzesło jest niewygodne. Przydałoby mi się szklanka wody.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm in extreme...
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself... It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Chciałbym porozmawiać o powieszeniu.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Nic nie mów.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Okej.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
Otworzyłem w swoim życiu nieco drzwi.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it.
Okej. Zawsze jak ktoś mówi do ciebie, że coś nie jest shady, to jest shady as fuck.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar.
Okay.
Play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Czyje to drzwi?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
Okej. Dobra, przyjrzę się sprawie.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
Okej.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
Dobra.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Dobrze. Jakby go rozgryźć? Nie zapytasz mnie, jak tu wszedłem?
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age...
Nic nie mów.
The big man peers at you over the rims of his glasses for a moment, then interlaces his fingers and rests his chin on it.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Powiedziano mi, że związek... boję się tego.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Ale nie, chciałbym tu utknąć.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Kurwa, dobry jest. Ja pierdolę, trzeba gościa złamać. Ale potrzebuję więcej informacji. Nie mogę tak po prostu teraz... Fuck. Jakie to jest trudne. Wszyscy mają jakieś swoje ukryte interesy, kurwa mać, no. Trudne to jest, oj, trudne. Czekaj, to nie tak się stąd wychodzi, jakoś tędy się stąd wychodzi, nie? Wypchana podająca godzinę ryba. Już chciał mi pieniądze dać, nie? Czyli dało się tędy przejść. Ja po prostu nie wiedziałem, jak przejść. Kurde, zrobił mnie na szaro, nie? Kurde, ale trudny dialog. Naprawdę trudny. Z nim jest naprawdę trudno.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Jest całkiem miły. Nasza Nora. Jest strasznie miły.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Edward mówił, że masz klucz do drzwi.
Key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Mówił, że należał kiedyś do szczura.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
Puść mu oko.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm pretty sure he's actually Occidental, though. So you're gonna be committing fratricide, my racist friend. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in, this jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Jest jeszcze cokolwiek, co powinien wiedzieć o tym zadaniu, kiedy ten cały szczur wróci do domu?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everout.
Okej.
Who he is and what they're fighting for.
Dobra, momencik. Zapis. W razie czego? Trudne kwestie.
How can I help you?
Masz jakąś tezę, kto mógł zabić Wisielca?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why?
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze.
Czemu strajkujecie?
We're negotiating our share.
Wasz udział?
Aye.
A jak dużego udziału byście oczekiwali?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
Okej.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Edward, wasz szef. Co możesz mi o nim powiedzieć?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
Na czym właściwie polega przewodniczenie związkowi?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Czy jego biuro wydawało się być luksusowe? Raczej nie.
Okay, he's reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Jesteś komunistą?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
Kurde, mądre to, co mówisz. Bardzo mądre to, co mówisz. Dokładnie tak, bracie.
Just the way the world works, boyadero.
Teoria krytyczna, dostałem achievement, lol. Zdaje się, że spędziłeś wiele czasu na rozmyśleniach nad sytuacją polityczną.
Sure. I've had the necessary free time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends. No. No. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be, an endless torrent of time.
We're negotiating our share. Aye.
Zaraz, czy nie chodzi o sprawy, odprawy?
They already covered.
Powinniście być w takim razie im wdzięczni?
Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece.
W ten sposób. A jak dużego udziału byście oczekiwali? Okej, rozumiem, tutaj eksperyment, okej. A jak dużego chcielibyście?
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so
Sure.
the look in it all that of a noble peasant, or the man sits on the railing, his hands.
Okej. Dużo się dowiedzieliśmy. Kurde. Ale mają tutaj rozbudowane te myślenie, naprawdę rozbudowane. Fajnie, podoba mi się to. Ale nie będę kłamał. Zawstydza mnie ta forma wypowiedzi, którą mają ci te postacie, naprawdę. Jest to bardzo rozbudowane.
A lorry stuck in the window. The driver has adorned his...
Okej, czyli tutaj już patrzyliśmy, bo są dialogi odczytane.
Right to work! Right to...
Dobra, okej, tutaj też się chyba niewiele zmieniło. Zły przycisk, nie chciałem tego...
𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏, one of the finest 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃-made motor carriages ever. Not many people outside of Grad and Revachol West too, it appears.
𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗲. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
Co się stało ostatnim razem?
An old case for my precinct. A couple of 𝗬𝗵𝗃 migrants saw 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 stopped in the street, painted just like this, muddy brown. Murdered the driver on the spot. They said it was an honor killing, hussar style. The 𝗬𝗵𝗃 community protested to trial, flying the banners of some old king or whatever. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction, 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
Kim była ta społeczność?
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that.
Jaki wyrok usłyszeli zabójcy?
4 years for murder in reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol industrial harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Kim? Czy nasz wisielec mógł być kierowcą tej ciężarówki?
I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body. But my initial guess is the two are unrelated.
Ale nim ruszymy dalej, chciałbym wygłosić opinię na temat tego malowania.
Yes, detective?
Powinni byli zostawić błękitny kolor.
You sure you're not 𝗬𝗵𝗃?
Yes, you're sure you're not. Or if you are, it's only in that Revacholian way. 4 to 5%.
W takim razie, gdzie jest pistolet?
Make way for the master poet.
A to tam już tam się gdzieś dzieje w tle. A tych już tutaj nie ma. A nie, są, dobra, sorry. Myślałem, że ich nie ma.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Patrz.
Where? There? Those are old.
Myślisz, że to z czasu rewolucji?
Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law.
A co możesz mi powiedzieć o tej rewolucji?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it.
Okej. Rozmawiam z Kimem, tak po prostu. Powiedz mi o sprawie.
What do you want to know? Good.
Powinieneś chyba wiedzieć, że nie pamiętam niczego.
No response. He's having trouble processing it. believe in it even.
Naprawdę nic nie pamiętam. Tu było dużo pite.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
A co złego w sprawach osobistych?
Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
W takim razie na czym powinien się skupić?
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles.
Ale nie posiadam nawet informacji podstawowych.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Okej.
Really? You look fine to me. Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Powiedz mi o tej sprawie.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Kto jest ofiarą?
A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Dlaczego nie wiedzieliśmy nic o
They
zgłaszającym?
didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Po co się tak ukrywać?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Wszystko już rozumiem.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
Nazwałbyś tę sprawę tajemniczą?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Dlaczego nie?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Biały mężczyzna około 40, czego więcej trzeba?
I'm relieved that you agree.
He is glad and surprised to see an officer who can appreciate the less than spectacular.
Coś jeszcze? Wyglądasz, jakbyś chciał coś powiedzieć.
Do you know the feeling when you've begun filling in a crossword, but some of your answers don't quite seem to fit? That's the feeling I have right now, for some reason.
Doskonale wiem, co masz na myśli.
It will turn into quite the puzzle yet, I'm afraid.
Skoro jesteśmy z 2 różnych komisariatów, to czemu zajmujemy się tą samą sprawą?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
Co masz na myśli?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
Nie pamiętam, żebym brał w czymkolwiek udział.
That's good.
Powiedz mi więcej.
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
Dobrze.
Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Właściwie to już wszystko wiem. Porozmawiać o tobie? Nie. No jest jak jest, nie? Dowiedzieliśmy się trochę od Kima, podstawowe informacje o tym wszystkim. Chodzimy z workiem i zbieramy śmieci. No, hit, nie? Ta gra jest zajebista, ale jakoś nie potrafię się cały czas w nią tak ostatecznie wciągnąć. No cóż, zobaczymy, co tam dalej będzie się działo, A tymczasem dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia, no i cześć, zapraszam do kolejnego epizodu Zagrajmy w Disco Elysium. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie mojego materiału, mam nadzieję, że Wam się podobało. Jeżeli Wam się spodobało, pamiętajcie, żeby kliknąć kciuk w górę, zasubskrybować i kliknąć dzwoneczek, wszystko, aby zawsze być na bieżąco. Jeżeli macie coś do napisania, napiszcie komentarz, dzięki temu będę wiedział, że jesteście, że Wam się podoba i przede wszystkim, że chcecie, żeby tych materiałów pojawiało się więcej. Dodatkowo, jeżeli chcecie się wdzięczyć za to, co robię i podoba Wam się moja praca, pamiętajcie, że możecie kliknąć w moją nazwę, wejdziecie do strony głównej mojego kanału, kliknąć opcję wesprzyj i za 2 zł, 10 albo 30 zostaniesz wspierającymi według Waszej tutaj chęci i potrzeby oddania trochę tej dobroci w moją stronę. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia i życzę Wam miłego dnia. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszelkim wspierającym za to, że jesteście. Dziękuję tym, którzy byliście wspierającymi i dziękuję wszystkim tym, którzy po tym właśnie filmiku zdecydowaliście się na wsparcie. Przede wszystkim to nie jest tak, że wspieracie osobę, która ma tysiące widzów. Wspieracie małą społeczność, której dzięki każdej osobie z Was, każdej złotówce, którą mi przelejecie, każdym 2 złotym, które jesteście wspierającymi ptasiakami, za każdą tą jedną osobę bardzo serdecznie dziękuję i za każdą tą złotówkę dziękuję, ponieważ dzięki temu po prostu mam chęci, mam motywację i przede wszystkim mam dodatkowe finanse, które pozwalają utrzymać ten kanał i utrzymać wszystko, co się wokół niego dzieje, włącznie z kosztami prądu, kosztami kupowania nowego sprzętu, kupowania nowych gier i w ogóle całego czasu, które spędzam, czy to nagrywając, czy to streamując i czy to, jeżeli w przypadku wielu sytuacji rozmawiając i wspierając osoby, które w jakiś sposób czują się gorzej. Więc moja działalność jest bardzo szeroka i cieszę się, że doceniacie ją. Jeżeli ktoś z Was czuje się gorzej i chciałby ze mną porozmawiać i ma jakieś takie problemy, możecie do mnie napisać, zagadać, wszystko na Discordzie, a link do Discorda w opisie.